Hi everyone, my name is Nancy, and I'd like to tell you about my beauty, or rather, how I carefully tried to make myself ugly. Do you know that feeling when the people closest to you are so jealous that they're willing to do anything just to keep you from outshining them with your beauty? It pains me to talk about it, so please support me with likes and subscribe to the channel. My mom has raised me most of my life under strict control. Who I socialize with, where I go, what I wear, and even my social media. Do you think it stressed me out? No, of course not. I thought that everyone lived like that it was normal. And then, when I got older and got my first friends, it was a nightmare. You can't imagine what my mother made me do. I'll remember it all my life, because it was the shame of the year. That day, it was my turn to throw a party, and I informed my mom in advance that my new friends were coming to visit us. Mom was only too happy, and at first, everything was beautiful. We went grocery shopping, Mom made pizza, cut up fruit, and prepared ice cream. And when my friends came over, we sat down at the table. Before that, we also went to visit my girls and their parents. We spent about 15 minutes getting to know each other, and then we left, but not my mom. We sat down at the table and had already started eating when my mom took a chair and sat with us. I could see how uncomfortable my friends were. I asked my mom to come into the kitchen with me for a few minutes. Mom, what are you doing? Aren't you going to leave? Why? I'm in my own house. I don't have to go anywhere. So you're going to sit with us. Why? Do you mind? Or do your friends mind? Well, Mom, it's just... I'll be quiet. You guys talk. I'll be like a shadow, I promise. I was embarrassed as hell, but getting my mom out was harder than getting an A on a test you didn't study for. Mary, Anne, Kim, let's get some juice, shall we? Anne coughed a little and sat straight up. Sorry, Mrs. Baker, we appreciate your reception. Everything is delicious and beautiful, and don't get me wrong, it's just this is a girls' party. So funny. But I'm not a man. I'm a woman. I understand everything, so feel free to discuss the boys. It's not even about boys. Maybe we have our own secrets? God, what is this nonsense? What kind of secrets can daughters have from moms? Here I am with a little girl with no secrets at all. We talk about love and beauty. Yes, my mom and I talk about that too. I always ask her advice on how to style my hair better or put eyeshadow on my lids. Is your mom an expert? She's a beginner. She graduated from Bianca Beauty School not long ago. Have you heard of it? It's the coolest makeup school ever. Mom almost choked. It's just that my girls didn't know our family secret because I'd never told anyone about it. Mom abruptly threw the dishes on the plate and indignantly wiped her mouth with a napkin. Then she said, Beauty is not the most important thing in a girl's life. The most important thing is to have brains. Mary laughed a little, and we all looked at her. Sorry, that came out loud. What made you laugh? I'm afraid you won't like my answer. Well, tell me. I'm curious. Only ugly people talk about beauty not being important. That's what my mother tells me. She and I are sensitive about it. And my mother and I also graduated from Bianca, and we didn't spare our money. This woman knows how to do beauty. Well, the result's on my face. Mom, after these words, furious, got up from the table and said, Girls, dinner is over. You can go home. Mom, no, we just started. I said, go. All right. Nancy, your mother wouldn't leave us alone anyway. We'll do your makeup some other time, at my house. The girls left, and I continued to blush, and not just with shame, but with anger. My mother and I then had a big fight. I said that for the first time, I'd managed to make friends. Some of the most beautiful girls agreed to talk with me, and my mom ruined everything. But she wouldn't admit her guilt. She only said that she was right, and that I shouldn't dare to put on makeup and beauty products. Mom was about to go to her room, and I shouted at her back. You know what they said about me? That I'm ugly, and on your background, I look even scarier. You forbid me to dress nice, do my hair, and you look like a model. Did you decide to assert yourself at my expense or what? Don't you dare say that. Apologize right now. No way. You've robbed me of my beauty and now my friends. They're not your friends. And beauty? Your beauty is dangerous for you, okay? What about it? But my mother didn't answer. She never answered that question. The next day I went to school and no longer hoped the girls would talk to me, but surprisingly, they were the first to come up to me. I started apologizing for the failed party, but they interrupted me. Look, it's okay. We understand how hard it is for you to live with a mom like that, Anne said. Yes, I've known them. They're jealous of their daughters and afraid of being overshadowed by their beauty. I've noticed that. She's beautiful, but she never let me look normal. We have a present for you. A present? For me? What is it? You'll see after school. I could barely wait until after school, and then the girls blindfolded me and brought me to, you wouldn't believe where. It was Bianca Butte's salon, our state's most powerful brand. I almost lost my mind. I didn't even know she'd opened a branch in our town. It was amazing. I was lucky because we got there right on opening day, where Bianca herself was in attendance. There was a huge line for her makeup, and the girls signed me in. I couldn't believe my luck. Finally, I was going to be a real beauty. And then my mom called me. She was supposed to pick me up after school, but I decided not to answer the phone and go home later. Anne unplugged my phone and we took a line, enjoying the free drinks. Finally, you wouldn't believe what happened when I sat down in the chair. Mrs. Bianca looked at me for a long time. She was an older woman, and she was peering at me with a little devil face. Ma'am, is something wrong? Huh? No. What are you? You're very pretty. What's your name, honey? I didn't have time to answer before there was a commotion at the entrance. Nancy, honey, you should go. I'll finish your makeup later. Mom walked into the salon. She took me by the hand with a psychotic twist and took me away from there. She yelled the whole way home that I turned off my phone, didn't pick up, and went to the beauty salon where I wasn't allowed to go. We fought, and I knew it was the end. And then suddenly, I remembered a moment. How did Bianca know my name? At home, my mother took my phone away from me, then went to her room and started packing. We're leaving. Pack, she said. How? Again? No, we'd spend our whole lives chasing somewhere and always moving. I threw my stuff on the floor and told her I wasn't going anywhere, that I was sick of moving, and that my mom had too much control over my life. I don't control you too much. You don't? Then how did you find me? I've long suspected that you've been tracking my phone, deleting my correspondence requests, and generally, are you happy that I'm so unhappy? Are you really unhappy? I've devoted my whole life to you. I gave up everything for you. And what have you lost? At least your beauty stayed with you, and you took mine away from me. Beauty is a dangerous thing. What do you talk about all the time? Why is beauty and everything about it forbidden in our family? Do you think that's normal? It's okay, as long as you're with me because of it. What do you mean? Then our door suddenly opened and Bianca herself walked in. I was so shocked. How did she find me? Did she come this late to do my makeover? Mom immediately told her to get out of our house, but Bianca said to her, Daughter, calm down. I didn't come to fight. Daughter? What was she? My grandmother? Seriously? How so? She tried to talk to my mom, but my mom was crying. She was saying, Get out of my house. I knew you were looking for us. You even opened your branches just to get your name to us. Are you happy now? Only it's too late. We're going far away from here. But Bianca came closer and said, I'm tired, my daughter. I want to live in peace with you, Emma, granddaughter. That's how you talk. You spent my whole life poisoning me. Constantly told me that I was an ugly duckling, that beauty was the main thing in life, and that no one would love me this ugly. Well, Mom, you made a doll, but I was not happier because of it. Mom, is this why you don't allow me to look beautiful? Were you afraid that I'd be unhappy? Your grandmother is a monster. She made people beautiful, but beauty is not happiness. I give people the opportunity to believe in themselves. Does this girl deserve the kind of life you're giving her? Her girls told me how you make her look. You're overreacting, don't you think? Nancy has all the natural gifts you so carefully hide from people. You've been hiding her from me. I opened so many beauty salons for her, just so my fame would reach her and I'd find you." She talked and talked, and my mother sat down on the floor and cried. At that moment, I remembered all our life how my mother despised models and always told me that beauty was a dangerous way to live, that it did no good, and only because she'd had a bitter experience with it. "Mom, if you've lived this life, it doesn't mean that you have to live the same way forever, you know? I'm unhappy without beauty. I don't have a boyfriend, and I'm already 16 years old. Just let me live my life, not yours." My mom still resisted for a long time, but at least we didn't move out of the town. Secretly, I communicated with my grandmother, and she taught me how to do makeup. I started putting it on and dressing the way I wanted to. At the same time, at least my mother kept quiet. That was enough. I think she needs time to get used to the fact that even though I'm a teenager, I'm still a person and I have my own life and plans for both my appearance and my future. The next time when the girls came to see me, she left and we invited Bianca. She and my mother weren't yet in touch, but my legal meetings with my grandmother were an achievement. Now I'm starting to live a different life, a new one.